Hello, I'm Dr. Deok Im, a senior research fellow from the Science and Technology Policy Institute. I prepared a presentation which is about the COVID-19 and the science and technology parks. The presentation is based on the paper, The Strategic Transformation from Innovation Cluster to Digital Innovation Cluster During and After COVID-19, which is submitted to Asian Journal of Innovation Policy this year with the co-authors, Dr. Wang-Dong and Mr. Yong-Ho Nam. Today, I would like to talk about the concept of the Science and Technology Park, Innovation Cluster, Virtual Cluster, and COVID-19 and its challenging issues, and the survey result which I took, and also the future strategy for the science and technology parks. As you know that COVID-19 present a severe challenges to science and technology park, because science and technology park is based on the network synergy among the university, industry, research institute, government, and in network synergy, the face-to-face meeting is very, very important. But because of the COVID-19, people cannot get together as easily as before. So it may reduce the network synergy. So in this time of the COVID-19 and after, what will be the future strategy for the science and technology park? I took some research, which started from the literature review, then survey, and the scenario planning, and finally some conclusion and the discussion is presented. As you may know, there are two elements which which promote the science and technology park. Of course, number one is research and the development capabilities. And the number two is the market, big size market, attract the innovation activities. We can classify the development of innovation, science and technology innovation clusters to the fourth generation. First generation is purely science park, which values more on science and technologies. Second generation, which we can call it market pull technology park, where the demand is important. Third generation, science and technology park is innovation clusters, where the interaction between science and technology and the market is emphasized. Fourth generation, I propose, is the business resort style, where the engineers and the entrepreneurs value much of the quality of life. In this time, many engineers, high-tech engineers, if they have skills, they can go anywhere. But they value much of the quality of life. So if the science and technology park can provide this high quality of life, then they have a more chance to grow. There are many factors for the science and technology park to be successful. Of course, research and development capabilities, capital, culture, locations, but often neglected one is the policy and the management. Especially in the developing countries, the policy and the right management is quite important. The science and technology park is based on the geographical boundaries. So they emphasize the geographical proximities. Whereas industrial clusters much more focused on the production, but innovation clusters which focus more on the innovations. So the science and technology park is innovation clusters. But of course, there are some gray areas or overlapping areas among the industrial clusters and the innovation clusters. So that kind of geographical clusters has, traditional one, but the digital innovation clusters, it's going beyond the physical boundaries. Because of the ICT, they can be connected to easily. For the COVID-19 changes, I would like to emphasize to find out some basic fundamental paradigm changes. The basic changes is that physical distancing, we call it social distancing. But the human nature has been evolved to get together, as the Aristotle told that the human is the social animal. So that is it possible for the human nature to be changed? I'm not sure. So that because of the fundamental changes, there comes the sectoral changes, less urbanization, less globalization, also some technology protectionism, which we can see in US and China cases. And of course, there are very, very specific changes. Some people moving out of the city, also international trade drops, and especially the untapped economies is booming. And it's sad thing, but the economic inequality and the international conflict will be different. I took some survey about 2 weeks, and the 82 Korean people responded, and the non-Korean people, 36 people responded from the 27 countries. It's about the influence of COVID-19, strategy and the direction of post-COVID-19, virtual innovation clusters. As we may expect that many people say that face-to-face communication has dropped a lot, and that there were cancellation of some event. Also, they will increase the non-face-to-face element in the science and technology parks, turning to online events such as seminars and workshops. And they are aware of the need for the to shift to virtual innovation cluster. But I thought that it is not enough to present the future strategy for the science and technology park. So that I took some scenario planning. First, I analyzed the change caused by COVID-19. There are many changes, as I said earlier, in all fields. First, medical and health field, economic field, politics, society, environment. There are huge changes. So I said that maybe it's necessary, instead of virtual clusters, we can introduce digital innovation cluster concept, because the virtual clusters is based on ICT and the produce network synergy, but it's like somewhat for the general public to understand, it is difficult. So I come up with the digital innovation cluster concept, which is to understand. And I also emphasize the digital transformation in management and the organization as well. I took some scenario planning. There are 2 parameters. One parameter is the COVID-19 impact will be huge and long, or short, or small. And the other parameter is that whether the STP itself will go for the digitalization, digital transformation. Will they go actively or slowly? So as we can see that the digitalization of STP is the good scenario. Scenario 2 and the scenario 4 are desirable. But in reality, I think that many will fail to go for successful digital transformation. So the scenario 3 will be likely, especially in developing countries. And I expect that digital transformation of innovation cluster is not easy, but necessary. But only few clusters will go for the real digital innovation clusters. So I'd like to say in conclusion, COVID-19 impact is not short-lived one, but it will be permanent and very, very structural ones. In order to go beyond physical distance barrier, digital transformation is must thing to do. Also, not only hard infrastructures, but the organization and the management of STP has to be changed. That's my conclusion. Thank you, and I hope that the new concept of the digital innovation cluster will bring new opportunity for all the people in the science and technology parks. Thank you.